I am the CEO of Formatica, and I will show you today how to use Formaticon software. When you log into the Formaticon website using the email and the password that you got during registration, you're taken to the dashboard page. On the dashboard page, you can either launch batch query or detailed report, and you can do it either using the wizard, the assisted mode, or doing it manually. And also you can examine the batch query history where all your reports are stored, or detailed report history. You can do exactly the same by invoking the dialog box by clicking on your profile logo in the top right corner. There you will see an options to create batch query, to examine batch query history, to create detailed report, or examine detailed report history, and also you'll have a chance to edit your profile, change your password, and top your credits. I suggest that when you start using the system, you launch your queries through the dashboard and you use the batch assist, the wizard assisted launching process. But for now, let's go into the manual page and investigate what kind of fields you need to fill in order to launch the query. Formatica works by addressing a question, the same question, to a list of entities of a given type. In this field, you can see an example of such a question, but the question could be as simple as, what is the role of this gene in, say, lung cancer? Different type of entities could be examined by Formatica, by Formaticon. You have to specify the type of entity you would like to work with in this field. It could be gene, it could be cell type, or for example, drugs. We usually use singular to describe the entity because eventually this value will be substituted into the prompts. The most commonly used type of entity is genes, in which case you will type gene in this field, and later in the field for where the genes have to be listed, you will type your genes. The list of genes could be as short as one gene or several genes. We highly encourage you to use several genes, such that perhaps one gene or more than one gene could be the genes of your interest, and a couple of genes could serve as a control. So let's create a gene list. We'll start with P53, and perhaps mice and retinoblastoma, and we will include two genes to serve as control, CAPTH and PPIB. When formulating the question for Formaticon, you want to be a little bit more extensive than just a single line, as for example here. The more context you give to the system, the more precise and informative will be the answer. An example of a good question you can see here on the right in prompt examples, but let's now try to formulate a new question to know. For example, we study ovarian cancer. You want to give a couple of sentences about generally what's known about specific model that you're investigating. You can say that ovarian cancer is a clonal disease depending on the driving mutation. Different types of immune infiltration are observed. You then may want to proceed with specifying the method you use. For example, we use CRISPR screen, or we use Cerner screen, and your preliminary data. Again, the more you tell the system, the better the answer will be, but you can just proceed with as simple as, what is the role of this gene? You put in brackets, to be named. We use this idiom, this gene, to be named as a placeholder for the gene, because it will be eventually substituted with the gene name in determining the type and extent of immune infiltration, which is observed in ovarian lesions, ovarian cancerous lesion. Again, I just simply invented this question. There could be certain biological imprecisions. You also have to provide the system with information-focusing terms in this field. The system uses them to focus the attention of the eye towards the specific domain of knowledge pertaining to a question, and also to increase the attention of the eye towards the most recent publications that belong to the particular area of studies that you're interested in. In our case, we could type here ovarian cancer, lymphocytes, macrophages, perhaps BRCA1, and perhaps abdominal. Think of these terms as of the terms that you would use doing PubMed search, or as, again, PubMed mesh terms. Finally, you will click the Submit button. The system will estimate the price of your inquiry. You will click if you agree with this price, you will click Generate, and then you will click Close. And eventually you can go to the search history, batch query history, where you can see the query pending. And it takes about 5 to 10 minutes in order for query to perform. If this is just a couple of genes, and maybe 2-3 hours if we're talking about 200, 300, or 500 genes. It may take maybe up to a day of computation for computing genome-wide queries. And this is how you launch the batch mode query. In other videos, I will show you how to interact with the result of the query.